Good morning, everybody. I have a new screen over here and it is big. My partner has bought a bigger screen for himself to do his computers. So I've got a new screen by default. So you're probably seeing more of the room. And also it seems to have a better way of reflecting light. So I've got one light that's up here, and I don't have the massive sunlight coming from over there. But I haven't put my big light that sits over here on. So I'm hoping that it will look okay for you guys. I'm going to invite a few of you in right now just because we can. Um, how are you all doing? How has things been for you this weekend? Have you been have you managed what you wanted to manage? I've been reading something which has been really interesting, which is the path of the listener. And it, for many of you that perhaps don't know, but I have an interest in esoteric studies and just really understanding a little about what goes on. And I think the thing that is really useful is to look at it as a collective. How do they all come together? Yeah, because as human beings, we all have the same basic neural correlates, right? We have the same kinds of ways of looking at the world. If experience changes us in the way we will respond, but we all have traits. We all have them. We may have them in a high or a lower capacity. So, for example, if you have too much humility, you'll be arrogant, and too little little bit of humility, you will probably be self-defacing. And really, what you want is to be in the middle. You want to take up the right amount of space that allows people to hear you and you be heard. Yeah. So we all have traits, these soul traits, and it's about looking at those soul traits as a way to come into balance. And the Buddha talks about bringing everything to the balance line. And I was working out what is it? What happens when we bring stuff to the balance? And in a way, what we're doing is we're colliding or we're collapsing anchors that cause us to stay in those particular locations of states. One of the things that I'm a Taurian, born in April. I'm also an ox in the Chinese sign, so a fixed sign. These are fixed signs, which talks about, for me, a lot of my stuff is always to look at something that's going to involve resistance. So I'm just curious, what might be something that you would have as a trait that you might have too much of or too little of? Because remember, we're all two sides of the same coin. We are good and we are bad. Not that I believe in good and bad, I just believe what was really helpful to us to expand and be happy and what is not. And for me, happiness is how all-powerful people either interrupt negative experiences super successfully and how they initiate new experiences super successfully, right? So it's really about how do we interrupt one pattern and how do we accelerate or ignite another pattern so that we can create and collapse anchors. Yeah. One of the things that is very helpful to understand is when we experience fear, when we hold it, when we soothe it, when we don't try and move away from it, we move towards it. What happens is we build tolerance and resilience to that feeling. We don't ignore it. What we do is we say, there's learning in this. And so part of what we're doing here is learning and teaching our body how to, one, be resilient, how to also be able to to take on challenges in the way that it needs to, so to initiate, to move into, to move towards, and how to be able to come to that place where we collapse these anchors. So we want our left and our right side of our brain to basically not be so stuck up in their stuff, but to come together, to work together. So more the creative, more open, more gestaltic, some would say more feminine, intuitive, or the more structural, the more sequential, the more ability to observe and step outside and look and move away from feelings. That side needs to come closer in, and that's kind of, we associate more with the masculine because that's very much more associated with testosterone, and estrogen is more about connecting. Yeah. So it's just recognizing that it's about collapsing what we're holding on to and allowing it to come together so that we get into wholeness. So we move away from these separate parts into a state of wholeness. Hi, Carla. Thank you for coming on. And is it Estelle? Hi, Estelle. Well, welcome. All right. So, yes, let's just quickly go into it. So how we do it is, if you have a feeling that you want to shift and change, you may have a good feeling that you want to shift and change and make it more peaceful, more joyous, just more wonderful. Then you can use a good feeling to increase use the EFT to increase the feeling, or we can desensitize an unhelpful feeling. So what we want to do is change it so that we move one into a space which is not necessarily going to limit us, and we want to move the other to a space where we become more limitless. All right, so we want to kind of get to that balanced state. All right, so 2 scales. There's a happiness scale, and there is a what scale? An unhelpful scale. All right. Thank you, Carla. So we want the happiness scale is 0 to 10, and you want to rate your level of happiness is, where it is on the scale. 0 is neutral, 10 is the highest you can be. Of course, the opposite is for the unhelpful. 0 is neutral, but 10 is for the most distressing. So obviously for that one, you want to move down, and for the happiness, you want to move up. All right. You know where I've located happiness? Happiness is here, and neutral is here, and neutral or not so good over here. All right. So, well, it depends on which one it is, isn't it? Which side of the coin the neutral is. Yes. It could be neutral for bad feelings, and it could be, well, not so good for the good ones. We want to go higher. All right, so it's a starting point for the upper ones. So maybe think of one going kind of like that. Hey, what about that? All right, maybe Nike has got the right idea. You have this kind of movement going up. All right, so if you have a feeling, please find it. All right, notice where it is in your body. Make sure you get a shape and a color. Yeah. See if you can see the boundary. Just really notice. Put your hand on that part in your body, wherever it is. Yes, notice where it is. Because right now, because you're feeling it, your body is trying to give you some information. It's apart from you. It's not part of you. Yeah, it's apart from you. It's living itself from you. So, hi Jennifer, thanks for coming on. So we want to bring that part back home. That's what we're trying to do. Okay, we want to bring it back home, like a mother or the prodigal child. Always the parent, the one wants them to come back, no matter what. Okay, and then we're going to just go with the next part, which is we're going to do the work out what it is that we need to do, and I don't know where my brain is going right now. Okay, we need to do the structure. So the structure is tapping. So the tapping, I'm going to just show you the points here. Tapping on the top of the head, side of the head, under the eyes, under the nose, chin, clavicle, two hearts, the two hearts, higher, lower heart. But you can do it with one hand, two hand, doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Under the arms, top of the head, and we're going to do the sides. All right, I better move slower because my camera seems to be working, not finding the thing working it well. All right, so I don't know where my words are going this morning. I've been awake since 4, is probably the reason. Okay, so let's go for it. Remember, rate your scale. Rating, you've got it. You know which points we're going to do. And having an idea, what is it that we're trying to do is bring these parts of ourselves together so that we can collapse the anchors and we can go into that state, literally the state of the beginning of the universe. All right. Okay, let's go. So we'll always start by using 2 kinds of beliefs. One is the negative. We want to always pay attention to the truth that we don't want to hear in case it's true. All right. So if, for example, you're experiencing pain and you're trying to work on this not being painful, you have to acknowledge that a pain may not go away either. You have to be okay with both. All right. It's always about being okay with both because that's balance. That's balance. All right. Let's go for it. So whatever feeling you've got, remember there's no right, no wrong. If you closed your eyes and I'm tapping away and you kind of go, oh, I don't know where I am, don't worry. We'll come back to it. If you find a part that feels really good, stay on it. Right? Stay on it because that is telling you you need to be there. Often I just stay here because it feels to me that that's the most important place I need to be. So you probably find that I get stuck there a little bit. But it's not about being stuck in this case. It's about I know this is me creating this energy for this part of my body that needs it. All right, so there's no right or wrong. We're doing a meditation. We're not doing proper desensitization. All right? Okay, here we go. Let's start. Let's work with the feeling to start. So even though I have this feeling, and I don't know whether it'll get better or not, I totally love and trust myself anyway. And even though the world is a little chaotic and people don't do what they should do, and it really does concern me, I choose to love and trust myself anyway. And even though I have no idea what my financials will be or what is going to happen to me, I choose to love and trust myself anyway. All right, let's start with the top of the eyes. This feeling, side of the eyes, this feeling inside of me. I'm not sure what it wants of me. I don't know whether it'll come or it'll go away. I don't know. And it scares me. Because if it's a good feeling and I want it to be more, and it stays the same, what does that mean? And if it's not a good feeling and it stays the same, what does that mean about me? What does it all mean about me? And if I make meaning that is not right, that is unhelpful to me, or if I make meaning that is better, it doesn't matter. I choose to love and trust myself anyway. I choose to hold myself tight while I go inside and find out. I choose to give myself this love anyway, despite the parts of me I might not like. I can see there are many things inside me that don't seem always to fit. I can see bigger pictures. But when I do, I see I am the misfit. Sometimes I can't understand why I do this. And sometimes I'm despair that it'll never go. Sometimes I'm worried that I won't be fully happy. And sometimes I worry that I don't deserve to. But in amongst all of that, even though it may seem almost unreachable, I can take a moment, just a moment, to go in and choose to love me, all of me. So remembering to take a nice deep breath as you do this. Always remember to breathe. So as I hold myself in my arms, I let myself feel safe. Safe that I can connect with that part of me that is scared. The part of me that's so scared that the truth may be true, what the worst that I'm expecting. But if I hold it just a little while, even the awful truths can be held. And so for a moment, I'll just gently tap and allow myself to be held. And just give yourself a moment to feel the warmth of your arms holding. So I'm feeling the warmth of my upper arms, feeling lovely and warm. And it just does feel like a nice little hug. Because we know that whenever we experience a hug and we stay there long enough, we start to feel safe. We start to feel safe. So just breathe into that. Hi, Marcel. Just breathe into us. Thanks for joining. Right, okay, and go to the top of your head. And just get a sense of what makes sense for you right now. What allows you to be in space? What it is that allows you to sit right here and take your rightful place, top of the eyes. And let yourself sit right up as you tap the sides of your eyes. Sorry, that was a little bit. And just let yourself go in. Take your internal vision under your eyes to that part to that part that is within. And just gently observe it from this space, not going anywhere near yet. Just watch it, be aware of it, notice it. Because this is what brings us closer to wholeness. Top of the, on the chin. This is what allows us to connect. Otherwise, how else would we know that something was wrong if it didn't tell us? So just really taking time to observe, maybe in the way that nature provides us. It's given us all our senses. So let's just look at that part of you, that part that seems to be separate. So if it's a pain, if it's not being happy enough, just kind of notice where it is in your body and have a look. Just notice, because we're going to go and do something else in a minute. But I want you to just locate it and say, okay, I see you. I see you. But what I want to do is make sure that I'm strong first so that I can really see you. I'm going to beat on my eternal drum, the pulsing of the universe. That is me. So you're going to go to the place, you know where you're going? To the sea of tranquility. Yes, over the heart. The sea of the tranquility. That's what the Chinese call this. Okay, now we're in the coronavirus. We've talked all about that before, and our immune system is a lock and key system. So we want to do two parts. We want to create that pulsar. We want to create a connection between the left, the top and the bottom, so the high heart and the low heart. The high heart, we know, is the part that's our thymus. Energetically, it's the part, it's this part over here that says me, not me. Okay, this is the part that really, really gets down regulated in times of stress, and it gets up regulated. Well, it's interesting. It's interesting. It gets down regulated negatively in times of stress, but it also gets kind of dissolved when we fall in love. So it has the capacity of pretty much penetrating every border by the force of the love. So we can work in two ways. We can work like fighting an immune system, not fighting an immune system, but fighting a system that's attacking our body by using our immune system as big warriors. But what if we also used our immune system as the compassionate warriors? The warriors that love so much that it just changes and transforms the viruses. So I wonder how that might be. And I wonder how that might sit with you. But just get a sense of which one feels right for you today. Does it feel like you got to go and do a kicking out and clearing up? Or does it feel like you want to just kind of work with the love part, the overwhelming love that can dissolve the boundaries so that a virus becomes rendered inert? You know, when you give someone a beautiful compliment, what happens? All of a sudden, they are like putty in your hand. You can kind of get them to be the best person that they can be. because all of a sudden the best part of them comes out, because now there's no boundary. No boundary, so it allows for all your love to come in. So I wonder what that would be like. Give it a go. Let's see what happens. Let's see what your high heart is asking you to do today. And remember the lower heart here. This heart is the drum. This is the filler. It fills up, it receives, and it gives. Yeah. This part receives and it gives, and it's a strong beat. It's the strong beat, knowing that this part, this heart, is the first organ that's formed. Okay, the first organ, and it's the one that creates the energy that then allows every cell to find its way to where it belongs. So every cell doesn't know right at the start. One cell doesn't know. But then as the heart beats, it creates a frequency, it creates a charge, and then it causes everything to go to its space. Our body is formed because of a vibration. It's not formed just because of genetics. Actually, it's the vibration that causes the formation of something. It's the vibration. The vibration brings things together and it separates it. So let's think of it like that now, as a pulsar. We've got these two, a high and a low, creating a pulsation, like a binary star. And create your rhythm that's right for you, and create that binary connection. So what comes into the heart goes up to the lungs. The lungs purify because it's got lots and lots and lots of mast cells, got a lot of macrophages, lots of cytokinins. Oh man, it's got lots of things. All things that allow for bugs to be removed. But it also allows for the ingestion of oxygen, of life. So taking a nice deep breath, maybe even slowing it down to make, as you breathe with the lung, work with your high heart, and as you breathe out, let your lower heart take it in and beat out. And as your heart, as your lungs breathe in, slowly beat for the high heart. And as you breathe out, let the lower heart beat. And just try that for a few breaths. See what happens. And out. Well, what I'm starting to get is sensations in my stomach and right the way down my body. So I'm just aware of that and breathing in. And out. Okay, now I'm just going to do a gentle binary pulsar work. And I'm imagining and I'm seeing just energy going to the one star and back to the other star. Like you can create it like a great big figure of 8, if you like. The figure of eternity, the figure of continuance of life, the figure that is equal in intensity and equal in its capacity. For we know that love is just as powerful as any emotion. In fact, love, gratitude, appreciation, deep appreciation is the real gift. Deep appreciation for our body, for our minds, for our hearts, for our souls, for each other. Deep appreciation. Deep appreciation for the things you have. The chair you sit on. Just appreciate it. For the warmth and the sun. And as you do that, slowly, build that appreciation muscle. I want you to go to that part. And remember, like all things, when we gently go to them, we don't rush, we don't force. And you can go to that part and you can ask, what are you feeling? And as you let the gentle pulsation gently pulsate, it can pulsate through your heart to her heart or his heart. I don't know who's here. Like a mother that holds a baby in her tummy and gently rubs it, feeling absolutely protective. Fully accepting of it. Fully acknowledging what is it that you want. And just responding, I can see you want that. And just let the gentle lull of the arms, almost like arms going around your body, around that part, and asking it, inviting it into your heart. Let it know you're sorry. Maybe you didn't see it earlier on, or maybe wasn't there, but you understand that this was just separate from you. Didn't know. And just let it be there, or let it come into your heart. And as it experiences its connection with you and it, get that energy build. Increase that love, that binary star. And depending on how you're feeling, remember this coronavirus comes on like a lock and key system. I talked about it yesterday. A lock and key systems, you can change the lock, or you can choose. You can choose, you can say, well, I'm going to dissolve it with love. I'm going to do the opposite of what I even thought I'd ever do. The choice is yours. And just go through your body. And today I'm going through my body, and I'm just going to go and give every little cell a great smacking kiss. And I've got little, I have, my cells are little red emojis, little emojis. And this time they've got basically, yeah, they're like little fireflies. And they've got lovely red lips. And they're going and they're kissing all the cells. So for me, that's what I want. It goes and click, and I just see this little thing. So I'm going to do that today. That's what I'm planning. I'm going to love everything to distraction. Maybe even my room, tidy it up a little bit, as you can see. Okay, love it to distraction. Love it more. Okay. And as you do that, just allow the energy to build. You might want to go a little faster if you like. And then just allow that energy to move around your body. As you release, as you let go, you build, you build, you build. Remember, the universe was formed by the Big Bang. So we want to do a supernova here. And we want to allow this energy to move and transform everything in our body. Remember, even unhelpful thoughts are viruses. They're a kind of virus that keep us from being in the middle path. We want to collapse it. We want to collapse it so that it no longer has the power. It can only have the power if we allow the lock to be that lock, that connection. Or you can just love it to distraction that it says, oh God, okay, I'll do what you want. I'll do what you want. I'll change. I'll do something. Just do that. And see. And then just let it move. If you have to move them outside your body, outside your aura, move it, move it, move it. And send whatever you don't want in the loving. If any is locked, just send that back to its highest source. Its highest source. A lot of people are writing what the coronavirus is talking to us about. Let it go back to its highest source. It doesn't need to kill us to do this. Sometimes we need awakenings. But wouldn't it be nicer if we awakened without it? That's direct awakening. Good. Okay. All right, let's bring that light that we have inside. We want to bring it out so that it goes in front of us, behind us, whoo, up to the top of us, down into the earth, to the sides, to the left. Let it go a full 360 in front, behind. Go supernova now, supernova. You might want to let the vibrator know. Don't know how long you can go. Send it out, send it out, send it out, send out that energy. Send out the energy to everyone. Send the deep appreciation. Send to everyone you love, everyone you care about, everyone you know. Remember, you're correlated with everyone. Okay, good, good. And guess what? Guess what? They're doing the same. So it's coming back to you. So receive it. Receive it. Stick your solar plexus out over there where I'm patting here. Stick your solar plexus out and receive, 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 receive. And as you receive all the whole 360, let it go back into your heart and let yourself release it. Let yourself release it to the universe. Feed everyone because you're being fed. Feed, feed, receive, feed. So you feed others, you feed you feed others, you feed you feed others. It's a cycle, it's a cycle, it's a cycle. That's it. Really get that energy. Make it as strong as you can. As strong as you can. Good. Just taking a moment, letting yourself enjoy the resonance you've created in your body. Let yourself really enjoy that resonance now. You can hug yourself, breathing nice and deeply. Check in. What is the rating scale you give yourself now? Hi, Lainey. Thanks for joining. See where you are on the scale. I'm just going to quickly see where we are on another balance. I'll show you the two balances in a minute. How are you all doing? How are you feeling? Did you manage to do that? What is your scale? What did you rate? Were you able to move your feeling up? Or are you still in a draw? Are you still in a kind of a state where you're just still coming into being? It's fun too. A 9. Wow, brilliant, Jennifer. Wonderful. Excellent. And how is it in your body? What are you feeling in your body? Oh, wow. Calm. Brilliant. Brilliant. Well, you're one of the most positive people that I know. And one of the people that definitely is an amazing person. I often think about you. But let me show you the picture that I did today. So that was how we started. Oh dear. I'll have to put it up on the thing, but I don't know whether you can see that. Let me just turn this light off. So it's more green and purples at the bottom, so a little bit inversed. Let's do it that way. And then the next one we got, remember I said we were going solar. So we've kind of got that. Okay, what I'll do is, of course, I will post it and you'll be able to see it. But it's got more goldy, yellowy color. Remembering auras are layers. So I'm really trying to get the pulsar effect. And the reason I want to do the binary star effect is because it creates the figure of 8. It creates eternity. And we're trying to create health and wealth and well-being. And if we're doing health, wealth, and well-being, we need to have this eternity going. The 8 is really important in our energetic pool. Pleasure, Jenny. No aches. Presently started with an ache on left shoulder. Gone now. Brilliant, 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 brilliant. So you know that tapping does that. 4, now an 8. Lots of gold and purple light. Well, brilliant. Well done, you. Excellent. Well, you're changing, you're shifting. So that's really good. And remember, you can do this all day. And I, I was paying attention to something which I hadn't been thinking about so much, but it really is about spending a little time and truly appreciating something that's really the essence of everything. So even like my glasses, really looking at them and going, you know what? You helped me. You helped me. And appreciating when you put your pair of glasses on and think, wow, actually, you helped me see the world in a different way. Gosh, what would I do without you? Well, I would have a different life without you. Yes, I'd survive, but this makes my life so much richer, having glasses that allow me to see when I want to go on. So just spend a little bit of your day today looking around you and doing that, all right? I think just see how that starts to uplift your mood if you find that you're kind of coming down from the 8 to a little bit lower down. So, or Jen, a 9, if you find that you come down for some reason, just kind of spend a little moment and just kind of look and think, what can I look at that I have right here, right now, that I can appreciate in this moment? Appreciation has got, and gratitude, well, appreciation is actually slightly high. Deep appreciation is sitting right up there at the highest frequency. I mean, seriously, the highest frequency. That's deep, deep appreciation. It's just appreciating it for the essence that it is. That's it. The essence that it is. And that essence that it is still you, because at the very, very, very smallest of this is the same as you. All atoms, all, that we're molecules, the nucleus and the electrons, all of that, the atoms. Yeah. So we are all the same, even if it's an inanimate object. So we can truly appreciate that. That is what makes us sentient beings, truly highly sentient in that way. So let's just focus on that today and on the pulsar, all right? And the idea that we want to dissolve a boundary in a way that actually is love. So yes, we can do the lock and key, but sometimes the lock and key is more from fear. But if we come in towards it with love, we will dissolve it completely differently. And we know that when we use love, what happens is our body regulates in a very, very different way. So give it a go for today. Take care. Bye-bye. What's Jenny going to say? I know she said something. Oh, pleasure. Pleasure, Jen. Take care. Thank you. Thank you for being here today, everyone. It was really lovely having you. And I'll see you tomorrow at 8 o'clock. Bye-bye. Enjoy your day.